What are good reasons to live? Dying sucks. Death seems okay, but it's the stuff before that I'd rather not deal with just yet. Outlive your enemies. But they are all dead. Then make new ones. I declare you as my enemy. Heck yeah. We will see who's gonna live longer. I will make sure that I live the longest. That sounds like a threat. Floating in a large body of water with no distractions. Also, did you know that if you float on your back in a hot tub with all the jets on, that you'll spin in a lazy little circle? I did not know that, and it's pretty fun. It's also quite relaxing. If you're careful you can do it while reading a book. If you haven't had a chance to try that yet, you should hang on at least until you do. It's pretty rad. Honestly, I just want to ride it out and see what happens. Us humans are so entertaining. One minute we are blowing each other up, the next we have pet rocks or something. I agree with this random citizen. Music is pretty neat. Remember that a gay black dude made a hit country song with Billy Ray Cyrus and it's been #1 on Billboard for 17. Edit. 15. Thanks/you/Elmrai. Weeks and that Peppa Pig just released an album. Music's freaking crazy RN. Yup, and Trump is trying to get a $AP Rocky out of jail. So you can say to the person mugging you and threatening to kill you, what makes you think I have money? Or a will to live? I was mugged once, and the only thing I had in my pocket was a book. They didn't even think about taking it, which is good for me, but also kinda insulting. Well, actually I was mugged twice, but the second was a kid who didn't have a gun, just his hand in his pocket, and we hit him upside the head with a jar of olives. Edit. For everyone asking, the book was most likely Dragonlance Dragons of Autumn Twilight. We had the olives as groceries and we never found them again. I hope this has lightened some of your mornings. What was the book in my pocket? Everybody poops. If you quit now you won't get to play the futuristic video games we'll actually have the technology to make 99% immersive. As a father I expect to see my kids play those, not because of being old or something. I just see me buying them and then watching the kids play them while I wonder if I could afford a second game console. Oh heck no, I'm going to be right there with them. My passion for games will never die. I wanna be like that grandma that plays Skyrim. Can literally just make garlic bread anytime you want. This is the only answer in this thread so far that cheered me up. Bold of you to assume I can afford garlic bread. Because if you die, it can't get better. Right now, I'm a shaking, emotional mess because I hit rock bottom last night. I'm still here because I know from experience that as long as I don't give up, my life has a chance to get better. Hopefully it will, but the only way I'll see is by sticking around. Rock bottom to me was over 10 years ago. Even the breakdown of my marriage has been manageable due to knowing that feeling as a basis of comparison. It's a powerful thing to know you felt as low as a person can feel. I have written this out elsewhere, but since everything I want to say has stayed the same, I'll just copy it here. I had a couple major realizations. Self-talk. I was intensely, harshly critical of myself. One day I realized that I would never talk to another person like that, so why should I talk to myself that way? I made the decision to treat myself as though I was a friend who had the same issues. I would treat myself kindly with compassion and allow myself to be imperfect, even very imperfect. This is very important. I decided to make a point of noticing what I did right, well, and good in the same way I'd focused exclusively on what I did wrong before. It's important, especially for someone in or coming out of depression, to see and admit to themselves that yes, they do things right too. It doesn't matter how tiny or inconsequential the action is. Did you brush your teeth today? Nice. You brushed your teeth today. Fair warning, this change in behavior will likely feel fake as hell at first, and will continue feeling fake as hell for a long time. It's normal for a behavior pattern you aren't in the habit of to feel fake, but that doesn't mean it is fake. It's just an unfamiliar pattern. As the pattern becomes familiar, the feeling of fakeness will fade. The other thing was that I realized when you are depressed, you naturally tend to focus on what's bad and wrong in life. You don't even notice the good stuff, even though it's still there. If you go long enough noticing only bad things, while being oblivious to the good, it can legitimately get to a point where it really, genuinely feels to you like only bad things exist for you, and that good stuff doesn't even exist at all. Therefore, I made a deliberate point of noticing what's right and good in life. There's a roof over my head tonight and I have a warm, dry, comfortable bed to sleep in. I have my health. I can have pretty much anything I want for dinner. I'm incredibly lucky to live in that incredibly tiny fraction of all of human history that the internet exists. It's a lovely day out today. I lost a couple more pounds. I really do have exceptionally awesome landlords. I was really kind to that person. I got the dishes done today. Etc. Fair warning. This is another thing that's going to feel fake as hell for a long time until you get into the habit of it. Expect it. It's normal and fine. I pushed through the fake feeling, and it made a life-changing difference for me that I did. One more thing. Let it be genuinely okay for yourself to make mistakes. Old habits and thought patterns can have a lot of inertia to them. Depressed people are still people, and people are just human beings, which means they will make mistakes. If you can let it be genuinely okay to be a human being who makes mistakes just like anyone else does, don't beat up on yourself for making them. Just shrug, let it roll off your back, and carry on. You will have a much easier time of all of this on those days you find old habits creeping back again. Also, after you've gotten a bit out of depression, check out this excellent post about non-zero days. If you are deep in depression right now, this might be too much just yet, and it's honestly okay if it is. One step at a time. Just focus on noticing the things you do right for now / on the positives around you. I read this on a similar AskReddit. We're all lights in the darkness for one another. When one light goes out, it makes it that much more dark for the rest of us. The human eye can see a single candle from 4 miles away. You never know when your light is the only light someone can see. Can you really see a candle from 4 miles away? If there is no other light, I think so. Yes, the candle itself I'm not sure about, but the light it drops probably. I don't have reasons to live, I only have reasons to not die. Despite how similar those sound, they are different, and most people who are content with fire lives won't be able to make the distinction. I get this. I'm not depressed, but I'm not happy either. Just going day to day. Edit 1. Thank you guys for the replies. I don't think I'm depressed, it kinda just feels numb. Like going through all the motions, but not really there. I've been depressed before, but this feels different. Kinda like shutting down. Edit 2. Well, this blew up, but I forgot to say that things are getting better. I recently started getting eye contact and spending time with my biological father, which is turning out to be amazing. Also, it hurts to see how many of you replied with the same feelings. I hope it gets better for all of you. Hang in there. Edit 3. Thank you kindly for the silver, stranger. To live to the day 4/2069 happens. You've been dead for eternity before you were born. Let that sink in. An infinite amount of time where you did not exist. And for a universal split second you're alive, after which you will stop existing for an infinite amount of time. In the grand scheme of things, being alive is literally the least likely thing that could have happened. And yet here you are. I've seen a couple of these, and I get it. And there were times where I would say this to myself, but I'm also stuck saying so what? Kind of often. I mean, especially when I'm just keeping it together and going to work or school again. I often can't really even see beauty or the grand scheme of anything, not to mention feel grateful for being alive. I also end up feeling guiltier for being depressed because I have so much going for me beyond the astronomical odds you mentioned. I'm a white male who grew up in the United States with no disabilities and a propensity for learning all types of garbage, but here I'm constantly hating myself. Sometimes I feel like that makes me an even worse person. The smell of a fresh rain, the smell of flowers, being able to cuddle your pet, the taste of your favorite food, being able to finish out your favorite TV shows. Because the 22 of February 2022 is the 22nd of February 22, and it is also a Tuesday, meaning we can call it Twasday. Also the 3rd of March 2033, the 3rd of March 1933, is on a Thursday. We can call that Thirds Day. To see if the Area 51 raid actually happens. I'm imagining Area 51 festival where bands turn up to try get recognized, and vending companies turn up to capitalize on the crowd. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe if you want.